guys, so welcome to the channel. This is the first video being posted on this YouTube channel about the Ram 1500 build. And so all of my footage that I had from yesterday didn't get recorded, and I lost it. So basically what we did yesterday is we pulled the front end, the old front end of the truck off, and the grill and the bumper are over there, and then I was able to put in my headlight masking piece that I need for this Rebel swap, and then I threw on the front fender flare that I'm going to need to cover it because the stock fender flares are too long and they just don't look good. So I'll show you guys the old stuff and how I did it basically, and then I'll show you guys what we're going to do with the new bumper and then put it all together. So guys, here's the original bumper that I pulled off. It was this is a Laramie, so it had all the fog lights and everything, and then you just take the bolts, these studs right here, and there's 3 bolts on each stud, and that's really all it takes to just pull that bumper off. Just take those 3 bolts off, take that top fascia piece off, unhook your fog lights, and then slide out your bumper, and then you're ready to take the grill. And the grill has to come off before, so once that's off, the whole front of your truck should be disassembled and ready for the swap. Okay guys, so here's all the parts that we have going on for the Rebel swap. So this is our new grill. It's just an eBay grill, pretty nice. You know, it's real simple. Got the Raptor lights like I wanted, so I have like a Raptor Rebel kind of going what I'm going for here. Then this piece is actually off of a 2500, and it's the piece that goes right underneath the headlight. It's because on these Ram 1500s you had like a big fascia piece that went across. So this piece goes underneath the headlight to mask off your gap that you're going to have with the bumper. And then this right here is the Rebel bumper that I got off Facebook Marketplace for 250 bucks. It came with the factory fog lights, and if you have, mine's a 2010, if you have my truck or newer, I'm sure, the factory fog lights will wire straight into the factory fog light harness on these trucks. So, and it all bolts up the same, and then you just have to do, you can buy the Rebel grill, which will make it look really good, but there's a little bit of gap with this grill, but I'm okay with that. And then put these in, and then your other fender flare, which is right here in this box, my fender flares, so that I get that wide enough stance for the bumper that I'm looking for, and then it's gonna look really nice. And then, so we have a light bar, a custom light bar bracket that I've put in here. So I fabbed up this mount right here. So what I did was I took a piece of triangle steel, cut it like that, and drilled a hole, and then I ended up mounting it to this bracket support piece on the bumper itself, and I did that on both sides. And then the light bar, I cut out this middle piece with a Sawzall and just was able to slide the light bar in, and it's a 32-inch light bar. So I'll show you guys what it looks like here in a second. Okay guys, so here's what the light bar looks like in its little mounting place on the bumper. So what I did was I just took out this center bracket piece and I just put in my light bar mounts, and then that way it was just right where I wanted, seamless design, and it fits right in there. And then yeah, so that was just an add-on that I wanted to do while I was doing the swap, and then I'll be wiring that with my rock lights into a switch panel, and then I'll show that later in the video. Alright guys, so we're gonna get our flare ready for that side. So this is our weather stripping that they give us, so that you can seal your flare off, and then grab the, here's our rear flare, and then we'll grab our second rear flare here. This is the flare that we need right here. So I'm gonna get this unpackaged, and then we'll start prepping it to be put on the truck. Alright guys, so let's just unpackage this thing real quick. So we've got, this is our flare, very nice. So we have fake rivets that are gonna go in here, and it's just a nut and a bolt that goes right through this thing. So then I'm gonna get those all done up and done, and then I'll be right back when that's done. Alright guys, so we got all the rivets done on the flare. So it's just these fake rivet looking things. And then it looks real nice. Now, I'm gonna put in the weather stripping. And so, this stuff you have to split it before you put it in. So, you have to split this apart, and they give you a special tool, but you split this seam apart right here, and then slide it over the edge of the fender flare, and then cut it when you need to. So I'm going to do that real quick, and then I'll be right back with that. Alright guys, so I got the weather stripping put in here. It's just this little line right here of like guard to protect your paint and so that no water gets in and rusts your frame away. Alright guys, so I got the fender flare on there, and it looks really nice, and then I got the under headlight piece right there, and then now I'm going to wire up the switch panel and then wire the harness for the light bar and the bumper, and then we're going to throw the bumper on and then the grill, and then the Rebel swap will be complete. Alright guys, so here is our switch panel that we're making. So this is just some scrap steel that I had, and I'm going to cut this as a 9" by 3" piece, and then these are my marks for my switches to go in. So my switches are going to go in like here and lay flat across, and then we'll go over to the truck. So we're inside the truck. So this piece right here is where my switches are going to lay. So my panel is going to lay across this flat, and my switches are going to be right here, so I can flick them up like this. So that'll be, that's the switch panel, what it's going to look like, and how we're going to make it. Alright guys, so I just finished the switch panel. So I drilled my holes. These are my lines, my markings from the last clip, and drilled my holes, put my switches in, and then I cut the piece out, and then I took a flap disc to it, and I just made it look nice. And then now my switches are in there, and then we'll be wiring it up to the light bar and then seeing what the light bar looks like. I also got all my fender flares put on, so the truck looks pretty nice. It looks pretty clean right now. It is pretty dirty, but these fender flares look really good. I really like it. It really ties in the rest of the truck. Alright guys, so we're just about done here. So I got the bumper wired up to our wiring harness here. So it's just put together with some connectors, and then run up and up through here, and then right here. And on the battery, I got my wire in, and then I have my positive wire to the light bar going through the firewall into the cab, into the switch panel. And then I got the switch panel set up right here, and then turn this one on, and then our light bar. It looks really nice. It's gonna look real nice all hooked up. So yeah, I'll see you guys when I get that bumper up on there. Alright, so the bumper's mounted up and it fit perfectly, just how I thought it would. I got the fillers in there for the headlight, and the fender flares on there. Matches up real nice. That light bar in there looks real good. Now I just gotta get the grill on and take it for a test drive, see how bright our light bar is. There's the truck. There's the finished product. Rebel swapped. So took it from an old normal one to a brand new 2017 Rebel. And factory fog lights wired right up into the factory harnesses. Light bars all wired up. Got the grill Raptor lights wired up. The headlight filler piece right there. And boy, it really looks clean. I really like that. There's still a little bit of bumper gap between the grill, but I'm okay with that, and that's personal preference. You can buy the full grill, but that's $500. I wasn't willing to spend that on this, so got a good deal on the Rebel bumper, threw a light bar in it, and then yeah, swapped. So Rebel swap. That's a wrap on today's build.